Today in the bunker, we're going to build a fortified blockhouse suitable for the frontier. As we did in our previous cabin build, I've gone ahead and built a kind of a carcass out of foam core. In this case, the top part being 5 centimeters by 14 centimeters around, so your side pieces will only be 13. And then the bottom bit would be 6 by 9, and the side pieces would just be 8 to account for the thickness of the foam core. And in this case, I have put a floor in each section and made this so that it will kind of key up and won't just slide off. So we're going to do the same sort of construction with the logs as we do on the other ones, that butt and pass sort of thing. And I'm going to model this one. This is loosely based on a fort called Fort Clyde, which, interestingly, the reproduced fort has the butt and pass. I don't know if it was built that way originally, but I thought it was kind of interesting. So I've based partly on the size of the minis that I'm using, and also partly on the size of the dowels that I have. I've tried to make as few cuts as I can. I've also marked out where our firing slits are going to be. And note that they're higher than the door. In a lot of these forts, they had a firing step on the bottom section so that you couldn't just run up and stick your musket in there from the outside. You'd be shooting up and not in. So we're going to go ahead and get some dowels set up and start gluing those on. The first course is always kind of the most difficult. A little excess PVA there. I'm just going to take some tacky glue, but I mean, you can use PVA, you can use hot glue, whatever. I like tacky glue because you get a little better working time. And then we're going to put our first log on there. Make sure there's no excess so we don't glue it down to the workbench. And then we'll glue one on the other side, and once those dry, then we'll start filling those in. And just like before, every other course will be laid on top, and then you've got the middle ones. So we'll just lay down a little bit of PVA. Maybe keep it in the camera shot, I don't know. And then just lay a piece in there, and then just alternate that, and then we're just going to put some short pieces in there around where the door is. We'll frame that in. And once we get up to the gun slits, then I'll show you how that is going to fit. Once you get up to the course where you want your firing slits to be, just fill it in with short pieces as you go. And then the row above and below that will be, as normal. Here's the base of the blockhouse. We're going to let that dry. I've put some PVA, a coat of that on the exposed foam for when we prime this. Everything else should be good. I may do it on the bottom. But here in a little bit, I will just take some coffee stirs and make a door and put that in there. And then we'll put this aside and start on the top. Okay, one of the mistakes I've already made is I shouldn't have put this portion on there yet, because this won't lie down flat to glue the logs on. So I'm going to do it upside down. These are 5mm logs, so either way they go, they'll fit. It's no problem. Just something to be aware of when you make yours. All of the walls and firing ports are done. Now for the roof, I wanted to make kind of I guess what you would call a hipped roof. I'm not sure. It's got 4 sides. It's kind of like a pyramid on top. And I just figured out about where the center was, measured up about how far I wanted the peak, and then tried to kind of figure out sort of a triangle. So I'm going to cut 3 more of these out, and we'll see if we can make this actually fit this roof. All right, this appears to have worked. So that'll go on there like that. So what I'm going to do is hot glue that together and put some bracing inside of it, and then we'll start putting on our shingles. To do the shingles, we're going to do the same thing we did on our previous build for the cabin. Strips 2 centimeters wide, cut up into them 1 centimeter, and overlap. The only tricky part is we're going to have the overlap be on the leading or trailing edge, I guess, of each of these. So there'll be an overlap here, there'll be an overlap here, and likewise around, because there's not a metal ridge cap or something you would put on these. And then we'll sort of build up a piece at the very top. So it's a little fiddly, but it's not impossible. After a bit, your roof will look something like this. I will not lie, this took quite a while. But anyway, we've got our overlap there, and we'll just keep doing that on the other three sides. And there's our roof. After, well, I don't even want to think about how long that took. It wasn't horrible. I would advise put on like an audiobook or a podcast or something, and you'll kind of get in the zone. Cut a bunch of these strips first and have a good sized pile of them. This took about a page and a half of construction paper cut into 2-centimeter strips. So it's not impossible, and it really doesn't take all that long as you're focused, which is something I have a problem with. So I'm going to put some paint on this, and we will return. One of the things I figured out in the course of the build was that this bottom section is completely non-proportional to the top. It's much too small. So instead of doing it 9 centimeters square by 6 tall, I went 12 centimeters square by 6 tall, and it'll look a lot better. This part I will take and make a new top piece about the size of this new bottom piece, and we'll have 2 blockhouses, but that'll be for another video. And here it is after painting. I think the larger base really made the difference there. It doesn't look quite so toy soldierish. This was rattle can dark brown and then oversprayed heavily with a gray color. I then dry brushed it with a lighter gray and then like a maple sugar, kind of a yellowy tan. And it just gives a very nice aged wood effect. Pretty easy to paint. One thing I would suggest for where the firing ports are is to block those out color-wise on the foam core before you glue all the sticks down, because it is a royal pain getting in there trying to get that color in without painting on the sticks. I had to go back and touch every one of those up. So try to do those first. You think I'd have learned that by now, but I'm not very bright. And there it is, guys. Not a difficult build at all. Took a little bit of time, but most of that was for the shingles, but not too bad. Anyway, I hope this build inspires you to make something awesome for your frontier. So thanks for watching. I hope you guys have a fantastic day. We're going to build a wooden blockhouse made of logs, and I'm just blathering at this point.